Welcome to your 30-minute full body chair yoga workout. For this practice today, you will need a sturdy chair, and you want to try to get one that is where the seat is low enough that your legs are as close to a 90-degree angle as possible. So let's just start with a nice straight back. I'm sitting with a nice straight back. My feet are on the floor. Just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths here. Finding more length in your spine as you inhale. Releasing any stale energy as you exhale. And just set your intention for your practice today, whether it be to just get a full body workout, to relieve some stress while you work out, whatever it is, just focus on that thought as you breathe deeply for just a few moments. And open your eyes. We'll just start by or continue to warm up the spine in 6 directions before getting into our workout. Raising your arms up to the side and overhead, and then just twisting toward one side, and then back up. And as you exhale, twisting to the other side. For the next one, for seated cat-cow, I will turn to the side so you can see my back. Inhale, arch your back and look up. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. And do this a few times with your breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Round your back one more time. Inhale, and this time when you arch your back, try to roll your shoulders back, opening up your heart space. Okay, straight back. For the next one, we'll just do some side stretches. You can use your left hand to kind of grab onto the chair. Just try to keep your hips grounded on the chair. Raising your right arm overhead, opening up the side body here. You could also try to pull your feet up into a lotus position or an easy pose and try side bending, side stretching that way. Sometimes it's easier to do this on a chair because as you get older, it's harder to get up and down off of the floor. I've been experiencing this lately, and it just comes with age. Let's just do a few more times, remembering to keep the hips grounded. All right, place your feet back on the floor, and this time we're going to do goddess in a chair. So open up the legs, keeping the feet flat, so almost like a goddess or a sumo squat. Okay, turning the toes out to the side. Hips are grounded, nice straight back. Arms are cactus. And as we sit here opening the hips, we're just going to open and close the arms. And let's just do this 12 times. 3, 4, pulling the belly in. 6 more, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And while I still have you here in the chair, Really quick, we'll just do a quick little eagle, so crossing the right leg over the left, and then trying to also brace it behind that left leg. I'll turn to the side, maybe it'll be easier to see. Couple breaths, and then just switch the legs. Nice straight back. And now release. And I'm going to move my chair so then I can use my mat. So I'm putting the chair at the edge of my mat. So it's here. I'm going to come into tabletop. And the chair here is really just for balance, for bird dog. So bird dog is raising one leg out. So I'm using my right leg right now, extending my right leg straight behind me. And then raising up also the opposite arm. So if you get your chair at a certain length away from your body, you can use it to balance until you're able to do this without the chair, okay? So I'm using my chair and I'm just resting my hand on it and I'm lowering and kicking up, lowering, kicking up. My hand is just there on the chair. The chair is providing balance. And as you get better with this, then eventually the goal is to, and I'm just going to move back so I don't hit my hand, the goal would be to add the arm in, which you're welcome to do if you have the balance already. But for educational purposes, I'm just going to stick with keeping my arm on the chair. Let's just do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and we'll switch sides. So coming back to tabletop, nice neutral back, and then extending the left leg behind you, using the chair to balance your right hand, your right arm, and lowering and kicking. And when you kick up, kick with power. We'll do 12, 6, 6 more, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we will come back to this. We're going to do 3 reps of everything. So now, if you can, transition onto your back. You want to be close to your chair, and just so you can see, I'm going to pull my chair in. I'm going to get my bottom as close to the chair as possible so my legs are as much at a 90-degree angle as possible. And this is a variation of yogic bicycles, but it's just so I only have to work my abs and I'm not worrying about my legs, extending my legs or anything like that. They're just resting here on the chair. Fingers are clasped. I place behind my head at the bottom of my, or at the top of my neck. And as I lift to the center, just lifting up, my chin is not tucked, my chin is out, and my elbows are not pointed to the ceiling, but my elbows are pointed out to the side. Do 12 here. Now cross your right leg over, well, put your right ankle on your left knee, making sure that that hip is open and that the right knee is pointed out to the side, and we're going to lift and turn the left elbow to the right knee. And we're going to do this 12 times. 3, 4, 5. Make sure to pull the belly into the spine as you're doing these. 6 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we switch sides, left foot on left ankle on right knee, left knee pointed out to the side, lifting and turning, trying to get that right elbow to touch the left knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 more. Beautiful. Raise your arms up overhead, just stretching out. You can even arch and flatten your back against the mat. And let's come back up onto our feet, so standing, and you can get up however it looks for you. And now we're just going to use the chair for a variation of down dog. And this is just in case you can't come all the way down like this for whatever reason. Maybe it's too much flexion, or maybe it's just too low. Remember that we're all in a different place in our yoga journey, and we've all used our bodies in different ways. Some of us have injuries or chronic illnesses, so there's never any judgment in what tools you use for yoga. Yoga is all about connecting the mind, body, and spirit, and it's about feeling good. So placing your hands on the edge of the seat of the chair, come into a nice down dog. If you can, lower the heels down onto the mat. If they're up and that's as far as you can get right now, that's fine. And just take a few breaths here. And then come on back down into tabletop. We're going to go back into the bird dog. And I'm just going to push my chair forward so that you see more of me and not the chair. And I'm extending my right leg behind me. My left foot, the top of my left foot is flat on the mat. The palms of my hands are grounded on the mat. And once I find my balance like this, I'm just going to lift my left arm onto the chair, just resting it on the chair for balancing purposes, and I'm lowering and kicking up with power. Really activating the gluteus maximus, the gluteus minimus here, aka the butt cheek muscles. 6 more. Great job. Now lower that left hand down to the mat. Pull the right leg back in, and we're switching sides. So extending now the left leg behind me, toes are pointed. The top of the right foot is flat on the mat. Palms are grounded on the mat. And once I find my balance, I'm just shifting a bit to the left side, to my left hand, to raise my right and rest it onto the chair in front of me, and lowering and lifting 12 times. Nine, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. Lower that left leg, bring your right palm down to the mat, and come back into tabletop. If you like here, you can take a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, look up, exhale, round the back. Inhale, arch the back, exhale, round the back. Tuck the chin. And sit back into hero's pose, sitting right on your heels. If you can open up your heels a bit, and let your bottom fall down in between your feet. You may do that for just a moment. Not a great pose if you have any knee trouble. It might aggravate your knees, so just skip that if you have any knee issues. And now I'm going to pull the chair closer again to use for my yogic bicycle modification or my crunches. So getting my bottom as close to the chair as possible, resting my feet on top of the chair and the bottoms of my legs, lowering down till my back is on the mat, clasping my fingers, placing behind my head at the top of my neck, and 12 times lifting to the center. 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now bending the right knee, placing the right ankle on the left knee, lifting and turning, trying to get my left elbow to meet the right knee. Six more. Great job. Now switching sides, so left knee bent, left ankle on right knee, making sure that that left knee is pointed to the side as much as possible. You want that hip opened up here. Clasping the fingers, placing behind the head at the top of the neck, and lifting and turning, trying to get that right elbow to meet the left knee. Six more. Exhaling as you come up, inhaling as you go down. 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back up into down dog with the chair, so however that looks for you. Go ahead and get back up on your feet. And just placing your hands on the edge of the seat. Stepping back, and you can play with it here. You can, walk your feet closer if that's better for you. You can walk them back, and you can just play with it. I think it's important that yoga be enjoyable, and that can include being playful. Pulling the belly into the spine here. And then you can step forward here and then just coming down onto your mat for one last bird dog. So I'm pushing my chair away. Extending, coming into tabletop, and then extending the right leg out behind me. Toes are pointed. Top of the left foot is flat on the mat. Once I find some balance here, I'm just going to extend the left arm out in front of me, and I'm just placing it on the chair. The palm of my hand is turned toward the camera, which you can't see, and I apologize. And lifting and lowering 12 times. 3, 4, 5, 6. Really kick with some power here. This is the last one we're doing on this side. Pull that belly into the spine. And I lost count, but I think that's about 12. Bringing that right knee back, lowering the left palm down to the mat. Switching sides, extending the left leg out behind me, finding some balance here. And it's always helpful if you can have a mirror or a camera, a phone camera, so then you can look at your posture as I'm doing right now, looking at myself just to make sure that my leg is in alignment where I want it. It's about level with my back. And then I'm extending my right arm out in front of me, lowering, kicking up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Bringing that knee back to meet with the right and hand back down on the mat. Coming back, and this time instead of hero pose, let's just come back into child's pose. You can either bend over closed knees or fall down in between open knees, which is a bit more of a hip release. And then just coming down as low as you can to the mat, extending your arms out in front of you. If you need pillows under you here as a modification, feel free to play around and see what works best for you. Deep breaths here as you open the hips and the lower back. And walk the hands back, coming back up. And let's just do one last set of crunches before Shavasana or resting pose. So bringing your bottom as close to the chair as possible, bringing your legs up onto the chair, flat back. Fingers are clasped, placed behind the head, elbows out to the side. Right ankle on left knee, right knee pointed out to the side. Lifting up, left elbow meets right knee. And you're almost rolling on that right shoulder. 3, we're doing 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more. And coming back down, switching sides. 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then if you can push your chair away from you from here for a moment and just laying flat on your yoga mat, extending your legs out, pointing your toes, and then lifting the arms up overhead. And just feeling a nice stretch all the way through your abs here, your legs, your arms, just stretching, maybe wiggling a little bit just to get more of a stretch. Nice deep breaths here. And then for your resting pose, you can either stay here and rest, you can place a rolled up blanket underneath. If you have a space in between the yoga mat and your back, you might want to place something under there. You can also bring your feet onto the mat and lay like this. But since we have a chair in our practice today, I'm actually going to utilize the chair, and just like we did for the yoga crunches, I'm going to place my legs up on top like this. And I'm going to scoop my bottom as close to it as possible. And I'm actually going to rest just like this. And the great thing about having your legs up like this is my back is flat on the mat. And it just feels more comfortable for me. So wherever you are, I want you to bring your hands at least 6 inches from your body, palms up to the sky. Close your eyes. Let your feet and your knees fall to the side, wherever they're comfortable naturally. And just take a few breaths here. Nice deep breaths. And as you feel your body relaxing, lengthen your breath. So taking deeper breaths, filling up the lungs. And maybe as you fill up the lungs, your belly might round out almost like a balloon, almost like your belly is being filled up with air. And we know it's not, but it's almost like it feels like it's a balloon being filled up with air as you inhale. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in, feeling it come closer to your spine. Try to relax your eyes and your jaw, your fingers and your toes. Try to relax all the parts of your body. Mentally going through each part and recognizing if it's relaxed or tense. And if it's tense, just try to let that tension go and relax that part of the body by breathing into it. And just stay here for a few minutes, inhaling and exhaling. Try to find space between the thoughts, because the thoughts, they don't stop coming. But if we could just acknowledge each thought and let it go and come back to focusing on the breath only, we can find space in between the thoughts. And hopefully you can leave your yoga workout practice today with not only state of mind of getting a little bit of exercise, but also just connecting with your mind, body, and spirit on the mat with me here today. And as it is still a form of yoga, sort of like a strengthening yoga, I hope that you can go on with the rest of your day with a clean slate, maybe feeling more tolerance, more patience for other people as you have shown yourself tolerance and patience today just by showing up to the mat and trying your best. Pull your knees into your chest whenever you're ready. If you want to stay there longer, please feel free. And as you hug your knees into your chest, if you're there, you can rock back and forth if that feels good. You can push your chair away if you use the chair, and then come onto your side into fetal position, and using one of your palms to push yourself up. And then really quick before closing, if we could just open the legs as wide as you can till you feel a nice stretch right here, and just maybe lowering down if that feels good for you, bending from the hips, not the back. Try not to round the back. And then just pulling them back into easy pose. You can also just quickly give yourself some shoulder stretches. sunshine arms up to the sky, bringing the palms of your hands close together but not quite touching, and then bringing that energy down to your heart. Bringing your hands together in prayer. Thank yourself for your practice today. I want to thank you for sharing your yoga workout practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me on the mat today. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments what you liked about it. And also, if you have any ideas for any kind of yoga videos that you would like to see on my channel, please feel free to let me know. I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. And thank you again, friends.